Warning, the following video may or may not contain spoilers. Hello, once again, it is another episode of Dish Talk. And we are going to continue with the free comic book day comics. And perhaps this is actually my favorite one that I got from the 5 I was allowed to pick up. It is the Street Fighter V comic book. Now, Street Fighter V, the game itself, I have not played. I do like Street Fighter, but 5, there's a lot of things going on at the time, going on with it at the time of this video that doesn't make sense. DPs and such, and it has no Dan Hibiki. Now, the reason why I bring up Dan Hibiki is he is not only my favorite Street Fighter character, but he's actually one of the main characters of this comic. Which, you know, I was actually kind of surprised because he's not listed anywhere on the front cover, which is just all these wrestling girls. Which I should say now, I don't know if any of these other characters appeared in other Udon Street Fighter comics. But after reading this, I do like my fighting games. I would think I would get into Udon Street Fighter comics earlier, but I have not. This is actually my first one. And you know what? Unlike the other comics, this is not a preview, I don't believe. It's a complete story. It's actually got 2 stories in here. But the first one's the best one, because it features the best Street Fighter character of all time, Dan Hibiki, also my personal favorite. No, I am not biased. Basically, Dan Hibiki has been, bullied, whatnot, but he's like, I am the man of all men. I train with sharks, run from snakes, run from more fishes, animals, and run from more sharks. And basically, Dan Hibiki has been hired to, there's no way around it. He is the jobber. He is the Brooklyn Brawler of the Street Fighter wrestling syndicate. But, we go through here, and Dan Hibiki's, he's the man of the hour here. It's so great. I love Dan Hibiki. He's a favorite video game character of mine. I don't care what anybody says. I love the guy. I wish he did make an appearance in Tekken 7 instead of Akuma, but hey, that's beside the point. But other than Dan Hibiki, we actually have some other cameos, which will be nice to see. But anybody who are fans of Project Justice, I think that was the name of the game, the school fighting game. They basically become jobbers here. So, sorry if you're fans of those. But the wrestling chicks that they introduced in this game, this is the first time I've seen them anyway. It seemed really interesting, and, I don't know, I like them. But yeah, I enjoyed this story, it's Dan Hibiki going up against this, and then, as much as I love the guy, he is a weakling, all things considered, command normals or not. But, he's the jobber. He lets these people, show him the ropes without him knowing he's actually the jobber. But at the end of the day, they love the guy. He gets paid, and he gets to hang out with women. Dan Hibiki, the man of the hour. And now I'm curious I really got to get into the other Udon comics, because I'm honestly surprised I haven't done it sooner. But, with this comic in particular, I think I am going to get into it. And, quickly going over the second one, it's nothing too major. It's about Mike Haggar, which, Mike Haggar is a fantastic character, the best mayor. He is the mayor of Earth. Talk about him fighting Zangief in the wrestling syndicate, Slam Masters. It actually takes place in the 80s, the Cold War and whatnot. And, the secretary, the guy that was with Zangief in the Street Fighter 2 ending and whatnot makes a cameo here. It's not bad. Also, Zangief does pile drive some bears. That's always fun. Now, I am a little confused, though. Because going through the Dan Hibiki stuff, it looks like the owner or the CEO, I don't know, it's basically Vince McMahon, is Belger from Final Fight. I don't know if I know Udon's story is different from the games, but I would think Belger would be dead. Unless he survived that fall. I mean, that would be something if he did survive that. But of course, you know, other Final Fight games kind of says he's dead. Well, at least, I don't know. You know what? I think Streetwise is actually the only Final Fight that straight out says he's dead, as far as I know. But, you know, some people don't consider Streetwise as canon. But anywho. But yeah, Belger is alive here, and this is not like, oh, maybe it takes place, you know, before Final Fight. But no, because in the beginning of this, it shows Dan Hibiki getting beaten up by Rufus here, and Street Fighter 4 takes place well before, or well after the first Final Fight game. So I don't know, maybe this is like Belger's twin or something, I don't know, or maybe, you know, in the comics he did survive the fall. But that's really my only, really nitpick here. But yeah, the Street Fighter V free comic book day comic, very, very good. And like I said earlier, out of all the free comic book day comics I pick up, this one is my favorite. So I do highly recommend this. And I don't know if this is like a part of a bigger comic session, like one of their issues, but if it's not, then I would strongly recommend trying to hunt this copy down.